Okay, great. Welcome everyone. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I just started that video a different way to normal, so hopefully you can hear me okay. The screen is a little jumpy at my end, but if you are there, then feel free to comment. Hopefully the screen will stop jumping in a little while. So welcome to your prenatal yoga. My name is Emma Heald and I'll be teaching or leading you guys today through a sequence with fit mums and friends. So from on my screen, it keeps jumping, but hopefully it's going to be okay for you guys where you are. So welcome. If you have anything going on with the body today and any of the movements don't feel comfortable for you, then please make sure that you do what feels right for your body. Okay. Depending on your trimester, some of the moves may be very comfortable for you and they might feel a little bit more challenging. So please make sure again to do what feels right. And you could always watch this Facebook Live and then watch it again later on when you feel comfortable with doing the movements. I'm going to approach today's session as if we were all beginners to yoga as well. So know that we won't be doing anything too crazy. It's also prenatal yoga. So it's here, this 30 minutes is here to also let your system rest and your nervous system to rest a little bit. So we're going to start with breath work. Why breath work? Well, the reason for this is that your nervous system may be spiked a little, partly through pregnancy, partly through the extra work that your body will be doing right now, and partly because of this situation that we're in. There's a wonderful saying that says it takes a village to raise a child. And I think what's coming up for me right now is how strong community is, even though we're not in contact, physical contact with other people. There are so many amazing resources, so many conversations like this via Facebook or Zoom that can connect you to other people. It also gives you an opportunity to connect in and spend a little bit more time with a baby bump, just the two of you. So we're going to take a little bit of work just to focus on the breath with that. So bringing your hands on towards your tummy, if that feels okay for you. Maybe gently closing the eyes. Don't worry, we're not going to be here for too long. You can always sit up on a chair if you prefer. I'm going to grab a bolster to sit up on actually. So as you've got the eyes closed or gently open, maybe you cross the legs or have the legs stretched out. And take a gentle breath in through the nose, down the throat and into the lungs. And then possibly letting that go as an exhalation through the mouth. Let's do that a couple more times. Take the breath in through the nose, throat, lungs, and softly exhaling that breath out. Let's take one more there together. Breathing in through the nose, throat, lungs, and exhaling all the way out. And then keeping the hands, if they feel comfortable there, on towards your baby bump, or if you wish to, place them on towards the legs. And just noticing the difference between the inhalation and the exhalation. And today's class is loosely themed around effort and ease. Why effort and ease? Well, within this time that we're in right now, for some people it will feel full of ease. There will be a rhythm to their day. And for some people it will be more effort. Children possibly at home, work. And for some people it will be a play between those two. And as with pregnancy, there is the effort. as you will be experiencing possibly right now the effort of all that comes with it. And then every now and again, there's the ease, the delight, the joy of creating a human being. Take a moment. Maybe you wish to tap in very briefly. Where are you in right now? Are you more in the effort stage? Maybe there's a lot going on at home or work. Are you in the ease right now? Maybe your second trimester, which for a lot of people can feel a little bit more easeful than the first and third. Maybe your partner or a friend or someone is with you right now. You could always check in with them. How are you feeling right now? Are you in the ease of this pregnancy? Are you in the effort of this pregnancy? And your body and intuition will often tell you. Let's take a little bit of movement. We're going to do some standing postures today, actually. But before we move, you can have the eyes closed or open. Just taking the arms in a big circle. And as you reach up, taking hold of one wrist, lengthening the side body, and a little lean over. Coming back up to center, take hold of the other wrist, reach up, and this big side stretch. We'll do it one more time on each side. Taking hold of the wrist, lengthening up and over. And then coming all the way up and over to the other side. These big, long stretches through the side body. And feel free if you wish to comment at any time in the side of the Facebook. Bring the arms down and give the shoulders a little roll. Great. And roll the other way. I often forget. Excellent. And then if you've come up and sat on a cushion or a bolster or anything, just move it out the way. And always know that with these seated starts to the practice, you can always do them sat on a chair. Really important to know that you don't always have to be or ever have to be sat on the floor, especially later on in your pregnancy or if you've got anything going on with the pelvis. So before we come up to stand, we're going to do some movement, relatively gentle through the body. Two poses, one called cat and one called cow. And then think of it as moving the spine, this gentle bend and stretch of the spine. So I'm going to bring my hands onto the floor and my knees onto the floor, just in case you can't see me for any reason. And as I press down into the hands and into the shins, draw the belly in. So draw baby bump as if you were giving him or her a little hug or a little squeeze. Keep that hug and then look forward, heart shines forward and the tailbone lifts. Let's do that 4 more times. So root down, you can always draw the body back a little bit in space. And then looking forward and tailbone lifts. Excellent. Let's keep going there. Rolling the body in and then looking forward. So we'll feel different for all of our bodies, depending on where you are first, second, third trimester. The benefits here, though, are this movement of the spine, this freeing up of the lower back, giving baby a little massage there as you move as well. Okay, let's come back to center. Now you can either just come up to stand. If you wish to try a different way going up, I'm going to talk you through it, but know that you can just come up if you wish. So I'm going to tuck my toes under. I'm going to walk my hands back. So I'm going to come into almost like a squat. With my knees, I'm going to take them wide. So I'm just going to turn to face you. So I've got my feet quite close together, almost like I'm kind of clipping the heels together. And then I'm going to take the knees wide. Now I can balance onto the feet because I've had a little bit of practice with this shape. But if balancing on the feet is too much, you can have the hands on the floor, or I've got my sofa here. I can use my sofa and something else. So take the knees wide. This pose is called goddess pose. And then think of a little lift up through the pelvic floor, a little lift up through the soles of the feet. And the knees might come a little wider. Think of lengthening up through the front body as well. It's strong. It will give you a stretch in towards the quads, which is the front part of the leg. So you might feel it if you've been doing more walking lately, or maybe a bit of cycling, maybe running. We're going to take about 3 or 4 more breaths here. So maybe You can bring the hands onto the legs, or maybe just try one at a time. Maybe you've got someone next to you that can help you. And then notice if there's a little bit of collapse. Think of the lift up, so that's the effort. And then notice the ease as you create space in the body. Well done, everyone. Bringing the hands back to the floor and the knees back to the floor. And then take the feet quite wide. We're going to reverse back into a squat. So I'm going to bring my hands onto my thighs, my heels to the floor, and then bring yourself slowly up to standing. And now if there's any dizziness in the body, just remember just to stop halfway if you have low blood pressure at all. It's often high blood pressure that happens because of more fluid in the body, but feel free just to rest at any time. So we're going to actually start with some standing balance postures. Balance is a really interesting aspect of life, right? It's always effort and ease in balance. There's effort in making balance happen. There's ease when we get there. So we're going to try some balancing postures just to notice how much effort we have to put in, how much ease we have to put in. Depending on how pregnant you are, you may wish to use a wall, something to lean on, okay? Weights and masses are different in the body. So, taking the feet about hip distance apart, you can always lift and stretch the toes. I'm going to take my weight into my right leg. You can start on any side though. So I'm going to take my weight into my right leg, and then before I go into the posture, I'm just going to lift the left leg and just get a feeling, okay, how's my balance? If you're like really wobbly there, bring your hands to a wall, okay, and then bring that foot back down. We're going to try that on the other side. Weight into the opposite leg. You'll feel the muscles working, maybe a little squeeze around the buttock, and then lift the other leg. If you've got small children with you, they might want to try this as well, or grown-up children. Bring that foot down. Okay, we're going to try tree posture in its beginning. So in kind of, let's call it level 1. I'm going to take my weight into my right leg, and then my left foot, I'm going to bring the toes to the floor and let that left knee fold out. Heel is just above the ankle. Now notice if you go kind of a little soft in this pose, you want to think of drawing the body in, lengthen up through the sides of the body, so give the body space, and then we'll bring the hands gently together here. Then let's take the arms apart, stretching the hands apart, celebrating this balance, the effort and ease within this shape. Excellent. Let's bring the hands together, little bow down to baby, and then foot to the floor. All right, it's strong, this posture. Doesn't look it, but it is. Let's do it to the other side. So I take my weight into the opposite leg, foot to the floor, and the knee, this is a key aspect of it, the knee turns out a little bit. So we're actually getting into the hips here as well. Now for me, I like to be in the ease of yoga, not so much the effort. But in order to find the feeling of these shapes, we have to be in the effort. To be in the joy of life, we have to be in the effort as well. So I squeeze around the buttocks of the leg that I'm standing on, draw in, so think of hugging baby bump in towards you, lengthen up through the chest. Then it might be that you bring the hands maybe to the heart now, see what feels right. And then you can take the arms wide and stretch the arms wide. Good. Bringing the hands back, hands to baby bump, and foot to the floor. Well done. Just give the ankles a little roll there. And the other way. Okay, we're going to try that again. We're going to make it slightly more challenging if you wish. So you can stay with that first option, remembering how you're feeling today. The second option is going to be to bring the foot a little bit higher up that leg. So again, use a wall. There's no harm in taking help in these yoga poses. So I'm going to take my weight into my right leg. Again, start on whichever side you wish. Make sure I've got the balance. Then I'm going to bring that foot towards the inner part of the lower part of the leg, just below the knee. Now I'm going to press the foot a little bit into the leg, and then you might even be able to see how I action the muscles to squeeze in, and then the side body gets tall. Let's take the arms up again. So think of stretching the fingertips up, pressing down the foot that's on the floor. Oh, I'm going to fall over. Let's just do one more breath. Bring the hands back to baby bump and foot to the floor. Well done. Poses like this can be more challenging during pregnancy because obviously the body is dealing with a different way of managing weight. Let's take it to the other side. So we take the weight over. Remember that drawing in of the muscles, almost like you're trying to draw the skin in and away from the clothes you're wearing. Then we bring the foot to the lower part of the leg. Of course, toes on the floor is absolutely fine. One side might be a little bit more wobbly than the other. We find the effort in the pose, the squeezing in of that buttock of the leg you're stood on, the arms lifting up. And then is there a moment of ease? Can the eyes soften and the jaw soften? And maybe there's a small smile as you move gently like a tree in the wind. Well done. Let's bring the arms down, both feet down. Bring hands on towards your belly for a moment. Eyes closed or open. And just sit in the ease now. After the work, we sit in the ease. Just taking 2 more breaths there. Good. One more long breath in and out. Great. So we're going to continue with our balance postures today. We're going to do one called eagle pose. So I'm going to take my weight onto my right foot, okay? And I'm approaching these poses like we're all new to yoga as well. I always do that because you never know, A, how you're feeling that day, and sometimes approaching the class like a beginner is the best way because there's a wonderful quote that says, in a beginner's mind, there are many possibilities, but in experts, there are a few. So I'm going to stand on my right leg. I'm going to lift my left leg up, and you can do this with me rather than wait. Now I'm going to take that leg over and bring those toes to the floor. So it's like I kind of crossed my legs, stood and crossed my legs. Now the leg that's at the back, I'm going to bend that as if I was trying to sit on a very high bar stool. Now press the toes of the leg that's in front down in towards the floor. So we're squeezing the legs together. Then we're going to take the arms, wrap the arms around the body. So I've got my elbows on top of each other. Then I'm going to bring the back of the hands together. Now, if that is too much, just have the forearms touching. Okay. So back of the hands, we're going to reach the fingertips up and sit down a little bit more into the posture. So fingertips reach up. A little lean back might help. And then unwrap the arms, stand, and bring that leg to the floor, foot to the floor, I'm sorry. Okay, let's take that to the other side. So I'm going to exaggerate the movements a little bit just so you can see. So I lift up my opposite leg, step it up and over. And then the back leg, bend the knee. So it's like the knees marry up towards each other. But there's an action of squeezing in and lifting up. Okay, so pelvic floor is working here. Then we wrap the arms around the body and bring the backs of the hands together. Okay, just a couple of breaths here. We're going to reach the fingertips up. Imagine you could try and lift up and out of that ankle a little bit. And then a little sit down through the pelvis. Good, fingertips reach up. Pelvis sits down. Excellent. Lift up, stretch the arms, and bring that foot to the floor. Okay, we're going to repeat. Same level, or we're going to take it up a notch. So it is a balance. Remember, you can have your back. So if you've got a wall free, we've got a lot of pictures in our home. This is my home right now. But if you've got a wall free, then just have the wall behind you so that when you sit back into the pose, your bum will touch the wall so you've got something to lean on. Okay, so let's lift up one leg. Now, either cross the leg over, toes to the floor, or the standing leg, so the one at the back, bend it more, and then squeeze the top of the thighs and see if you can tuck that foot around to the back of that calf or side of the calf. The camera at the moment is being a little bit funny. It's jumping a lot, so I can't see very clearly on what you can see, but hopefully you can see this quite well. So I'm going to just do it again. I'm going to wrap the legs around and tuck that leg round. And then we wrap the arms again, and we're just going to take 2 breaths here. So sit down into the shape a little bit, lift up through the arms. Good, just one more. I know it's hard, I know. And then release the arms, and release the leg. Okay, pause between sides, hands to belly. So we move from the effort to the ease to the effort. We're going to do the other side though. Okay, remember, first option, you lift the leg up and toes to the floor and then sit the bum down. So you're still working quite strongly into those quads. Second option, I'm going to exaggerate just to make sure you can see. I'm going to lift my knee up, squeeze the top of the thighs together, and then that foot might just come to the outside of my calf, or you might be able to wrap it around. Remember, if there's any tension in that knee, don't go too far, okay? So I'm going to do it this level with you. So the knees are marrying up, wrap the arms around, and back to the hands. So it's a big balance, this one. The effort is in the posture, is in holding and maintaining that balance. The ease is in the breath and maybe in your smile. Reach the arms up, take the arms wide, and stand in. Excellent. Take the feet a little wider if that feels good. Hands towards the belly. Takes a village to raise a child. A wonderful proverb. So as we connect through Facebook, through Fit Mums, as you bring your hands to your belly, just knowing that you are connected to such a big community, such a big village of support right now. And you can come back to this video at any time, even if you just do 2 minutes of it, just to allow yourself to feel that connection. Maybe play this video at the same time as one of your friends who's pregnant is, and you can chat to each other through the phone, practice yoga together. Let's release the hands. Okay, we can do one more standing. It is another balance. So we're going to do the beginnings of a pose called dancer's pose. Again, this is opening for the quads. The quads, these muscles here are the front part of the leg. So if you're a cyclist, you might feel this quite a lot there, or a runner. It opens here into the hip flexors as well, which can get a little tight if we sit a lot and if we exercise a lot. It's also going to give you a little bit more stretch, a little bit more space in towards the front body. Okay. Remember, if you need a wall, use a wall. We're going to do the beginning of it, which to be honest is more just like a quad stretch. I'm going to turn side on so you can see. So I'm going to lift up one leg. I'm using my right leg. I'm going to take hold of my foot. Now, if you can't reach your foot, you can loop your hand on towards your leggings. Or sometimes I use a belt, like a dressing gown belt or a yoga belt, and you can hold your foot. If this is too much for you, although it's a different pose, come back to tree pose, okay? If you can hold the foot, standing leg is strong. It might be that you just bring the other hand on towards your tummy. Find a fixed point to focus on. So definitely don't look at me on the screen. Or you can take the left arm up towards the ceiling. So I've got my arm stretching up and I've got hold of my foot. So again, this long stretch through the front body. Knees are glued together. Now, if you wish to, a little kick back of that foot, and maybe remember, especially if you're third trimester, okay, the weights and masses of the body are different. So kick the foot back and maybe take a little lean forward with the body. Excellent. Good. And then come back to center and release that foot. Ooh. It's quite strong around here as well. Okay, let's move directly to the second side. How long have we got left? Oh, wowzers. Okay, so we've done a lot of standing work today. I wanted to make it a little bit more active for us today. The past few weeks we've done a lot more sitting. So I take my weight into the opposite foot, the side I haven't done. That'll be the side that isn't aching. And then lift up and take hold of the foot. Okay, so as you've got the foot, think of lifting the energy all the way up through that standing leg. I've got hold right up towards my toes to make it a little easier. The knees are together-ish. Again, think of lifting up through pelvic floor. So this is definitely a lift of energy up. Might feel more harder if you're later in pregnancy. Hand to the belly, gently focusing on a still point. And if you wish to, you can stretch that arm up. And then if you wish to, kick the foot back and energize through the standing leg and maybe a tiny little lean forward called dancer's pose. So softly breathing, come back to center, release the foot. Well done. Hands to belly. Take a couple of breaths there. And just notice the effort and the ease. We're often in one or the other. Sometimes we're in a perfect blend of the two. And those moments are the ones that we really truly can absorb the hard work that we do. Sometimes they come up far and few between. But a real pleasure to spend time in. I always think of a moment like this after a yoga pose. That's kind of the blend between the effort and ease. Okay, well done. I think our legs have probably done enough work today. So all you need to do is, again, come back to a seated place. You can be on your sofa, you can be on a chair. I've got this bolster here. It's quite a big kind of cushion to sit up on for me. And I'm just going to move the camera a little bit. Excellent. Okay. Remember to sit so you're comfortable. For some people, it might be cross-legged. For some people, the legs stretched out. We're going to close our class here in a moment. And so know that if you want to lie down after we've closed class or at any time, or you want to stay seated for a bit longer in a few quiet moments, tune in intuitively and tap into what you and your baby wishes for in that moment. To close the class, bringing the hands towards your belly or to the heart, wherever feels right. We come back to that breath. Nose, throat and lungs, and that gentle exhalation out of the mouth. Just taking that a couple more times. Learning this skill of sensitizing the respiratory system, or this awareness I should say, so that in moments when we are in the effort and the system needs the ease, the breath is your best friend. If you can tune into the breath, at any time, pregnant or not pregnant, first, second, third, fourth trimester, it is your best friend. Let's take a couple more like that. Maybe you wish to exhale through the mouth. We sit in that balance of effort and ease, connected through the power of the internet, through our Fit Mums and Friends group. And then maybe after this you wish to share this with other people who are pregnant. Wonderful. Closing the practice, if you wish to, you can bring the hands together in prayer. Take a little bow down, and as you bow down to yourself, to the journey that you're on, to our community, and to that balance between effort and ease. The eyes are closed, gently opening the eyes. Well done, everyone. Thanks for joining me. I definitely feel much better after that practice, and I hope you do too. My name is Emma Heald, and you've been practicing with me and Fit Mums and Friends today. Thank you for joining. On Wednesdays, we have postnatal at 2 p.m. It's quite a gentle practice, so please do share it with anyone you know that might have recently had a baby. If you've got any comments, feel free to put them in the comment box, and to share this video with anyone that may need some yoga during their pregnancy. Thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you all very soon. Okay, have a great afternoon, everybody. Bye.